Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be talking about the Saints Week 18 matchup versus the Atlanta Falcons. We all know, as Saints fans, what is on the line for the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have to win this game versus the Atlanta Falcons and have a San Francisco 49ers loss in the same day versus the Los Angeles Rams in order for the Saints to get that final seed in an NFC playoff picture. So I want to say thank you to everybody that is checking this out. And before I get started, I just ask that everyone give the State of the Saints podcast a thumbs up. If you like the show, if you like the content, just do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up, and I would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's dive into this game. The New Orleans Saints over the last couple of weeks have been playing really well defensively. We know that the Saints arguably have the best defense in all of football right now. The front four of the New Orleans Saints are wreaking havoc. You also have some great linebacker play and some great play in the secondary. And together as a group, the Saints have assembled together one of the better defenses they've had, I can say, probably in the last 2 decades. But in order for the New Orleans Saints to win, this is a surprise to absolutely nobody. The defense has to replicate what we've seen over the last few weeks. I'm even including that Miami Dolphins loss. I mean, you have to be able to go out there and they have to be able to neutralize the Atlanta Falcons offense. I mean, Atlanta Falcons, we know that they don't like the New Orleans Saints. They are the New Orleans Saints' bitter rivals. They would love to play spoiler and ruin the plans of any type of playoff hopes that the New Orleans Saints actually have, because we already know more than likely the Atlanta Falcons, their playoff plans are probably ruined around week 6 or 7. So they want that type of misery. They want misery because we all know that misery loves company, and it would really make them feel good if they know that they can knock off the New Orleans Saints. That is why I am one of the individuals that believes that this week starts the NFL playoffs, not next week. These are the type of games that you have to win in order for you to advance in the playoffs, right? You have to win and, you move on. The Saints have to win in order to try to move on. And if you lose to the Atlanta Falcons, then there's absolutely nothing that we need to be talking about here. But I do believe that the New Orleans Saints are a good football team. I do believe that the New Orleans Saints are, good enough to beat the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are dealing with some injuries of their own. We all know about star tight end Kyle Pitts. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury. There's a possibility that he may not play, and they have some more players that wind up on the injury report. But I'm more focused on some of the guys that the Saints can possibly have coming back, like right tackle Ryan Ramczyk, who is questionable for this game. He's questionable, to play in this game versus the Atlanta Falcons. And Ryan Ramczyk has been out for the last for quite some time. I mean, he's been out for a while, and we have really missed him as Saints fans, and the Saints have missed him as being one of those stone walls on the right side. So having him back, that gives Alvin Kamara opportunity to be able to at least run to the right side. You know what I'm saying? In order for Ryan Ramczyk to create space for Alvin Kamara to run through. We know that Ryan Ramczyk is one of the best right tackles in football, and you just can't replace him with just anybody. So if he's able to come back on today, that would be huge. You also have Mark Ingram, who winds up on the list. Mark Ingram did not play last week, and he's questionable for this week. Mark Ingram has really stepped up in a few games where Alvin Kamara wasn't there. One game in particular was the game versus the Tennessee Titans. And there were a few games where we seen that Mark Ingram brought a little bit of a spark. So, Mark Ingram is a guy who has a lot of wear and tear on his body. He's been in the NFL for, a number of years. So him being injured at the running back position is really no surprise, be that as it may. It's one of those situations where, it's just a guy who on the other side of 30, and that happens to him. But I would love to have Mark Ingram back in the Saints uniform, being able to contribute. But if they don't, I mean, you have guys like Tony Jones. You got guys like Dwayne Washington that can probably alleviate some of the carries from Alvin Kamara to give him a break. But this is one of those games where I feel like the Saints offensively are going to try to ride Alvin Kamara till the wheels fall off because he is their way into the playoffs. He is their way. And you also need some guys to be able to step up. You need some guys to be able to step up offensively. Guys like Marquez Callaway. He had a really good game last week. He made some really good catches, but there were a few catches that he dropped on the ground. So if you add those catches that you dropped on the ground to the catches that you caught that were just absolutely unbelievable, I think that you have a guy that can go over 100 yards in receiving, and we're going to need that. And he's going to be on star cornerback A.J. Terrell. Look, we may not like the Atlanta Falcons, but A.J. Terrell has been playing really good. He's one of those guys that have been flying under the radar. And I think we as Saints fans, I think we need to understand that. You know how I feel when you have a guy who is out there putting in the work and, doing the best that they can and they're not getting any type of recognition. I mean, we talk about that all the time on social media. But, A.J. Terrell has done a really good job. So Marquez Callaway has his work cut out for him. But he also should get some help. Traquan Smith is supposed to be coming back. He might be available for this game. So those 3 catches for 21 yards can come into handy. As far as the tight end position, Nick Vernett, I would like to see something more out of him. There's been some times where Nick Vernett could have fought for extra yards. If he actually caught a pass, he could have got 5 yards or a first down if he would have caught a pass. He could have made a big play if he would have caught a pass. And I started having Kobe Fleener flashbacks when I seen Nick Vernett. And for all the Saints fans that may not know this, that's not a good thing. As far as Adam Troutman, he's dealing with an MCL injury. I feel like he's more out there for the blocking more so than being a pass catcher. So I don't expect for him to replicate any of the games he had. One game in particular is that Philadelphia Eagles game. But the tight ends, I mean, when a ball is being thrown to him, at least catch the ball, even if it's for 3 yards, if it's for 4 yards. Okay, because the key for the offense in this game is to control the time of possession and also come away with some points. Rather that's 3 points, rather that's 7 points, and allow the defense to not get so exhausted that the Atlanta Falcons can just throw the ball all over the place and it just, opens up a big hole inside of a canoe. So the offense needs to step up. Taysom Hill, who had a really decent game, in comparison to games that he's had as a starter. I feel like this was one of the games that I've seen some growth and development from Taysom Hill on last week versus the Carolina Panthers. He was making some quick decisions. He orchestrated a 2-minute drill. There were some times where he actually threw the ball away. But there were some passes that he wish he would have had back. But more times than not, last week, Taysom Hill showed that he's starting to get a little bit better at understanding the offense. And he's going to have to do that. He's going to have to make some plays with his legs. He's going to have to make some plays with his arm. The Saints are going to have to go out there and be able to stretch the field. They're going to have to be able to go out there and throw this ball around and also be able to fight for those extra yards if that opportunity presents itself. Now, I'm pretty sure the way the Falcons are going to play Taysom Hill, they're probably going to leave a linebacker out there because you got to respect the fact that this guy can actually run. But if Atlanta is, on that arrogant tip and they decide that they want to play man all across the board, then that leaves opportunities for Taysom Hill to be able to get those extra yards and allow them to play, their way out of man and maybe go into zone. And that's when you have the middle of the field that'll be open and opportunities like for Deontay Harris, who I feel like if you actually just try to put this guy in the slot, he can eat. And also, put him in the backfield, on some jet sweeps. The Saints have to be exotic in this game. They got to come up with a game plan in order for them to be able to generate points. Don't be out here trying to be sexy. Don't be going out here trying to make some things work. You got to throw everything in the kitchen sink at the Atlanta Falcons and let the chips fall where they may. Don't worry about, oh, man, if we get into the playoff next week, a team going to have that on film. No, you have to live to fight another day. There is no playoffs if you don't go out there and leave it all on the line. So that's what I expect from the offense. I expect for them to come up with some innovation. I expect for them to do some things they didn't really do in a season. I expect for them to come out there and try to come up with some plays, including I'm just going to go ahead and make this bold prediction here. I feel like Alvin Kamara is going to throw the football in this game. I think so. I think he's going to get his opportunity, something that he's been wanting to do for I don't know how long. I think that they're going to line him up in a wildcat or something like that, and he's going to throw the football today. I don't know if it's going to equate to a touchdown, but I think he's going to throw the football for the first time today. As far as the defense is concerned, on the defensive side of the ball, you have guys like P.J. Williams and Bradley Roby. These guys aren't going today. We know about P.J. Williams. He was dealing with an injury. He tried to go in and out of the game. P.J. Williams has done an outstanding job this season at the safety position, really going out there, making some really tough tackles, and also going out there, man, catching some interceptions. This has been the best year in the Saints uniform for P.J. Williams, and I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be his last year with the New Orleans Saints if the New Orleans Saints don't give him a certain amount of money. I don't feel like you're going to be able to bring P.J. Williams back on a one-year deal the way that he's played and the way that he is in the limelight because of that hit on Chris Godwin. For good or bad, you know what I'm saying? People watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They see, you know, Tom Brady, and they see his supporting cast. And, you know, that's going to be one of those things that's going to be, you know, evaluated. And I'm pretty sure they have some guys that probably didn't even recognize P.J. Williams, probably went back there and said, man, who is this guy? And they looked at some of his highlights and probably said, man, you know, maybe we can use him in our system. So I'd be highly surprised if this dude come back. But that's another story for another day. Bradley Roby is becoming a little bit better in the Saints defense. He's much better than he was when he first got here. I feel like he's part of the group. He's caught a couple of interceptions. You know, he seems like he knows what he's doing out there, and he's out there available for more plays. So these two guys are definitely going to be missed in the secondary. I expect for the New Orleans Saints to be able to still pick up the slack. I expect to see some snaps from guys like Ken Crawley and maybe, you know, other cornerbacks that don't really get that much opportunity. Probably Jeff Heath, you know, the safety that's been with the Dallas Cowboys, been with the Raiders. I expect for him to, you know, make some plays as well. Jeff Heath is a seasoned veteran. He's made some plays everywhere that he went. So I think that he can step up in his game. He just has to stay away from Malcolm Jenkins, because what the heck was that when they were celebrating? He just ran into the back of Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, he could have easily hurt him, but I still like Jeff Heath, man. I think that he's really good. He's been playing mostly on special teams, and I think that he'll be able to go out there and make some plays on today. Defensively, what do I expect? I expect for the front four to eat. Even though Davenport is questionable on the injury list, I expect for him to go out there and get some pressures. And I think that we're going to see something from Cam Jordan. I don't think that this is one of those situations where a guy just red hot and they start believing their own press clippings and they just go out there and make a stinker. You know, I think that Cam Jordan is really on a mission right now. I think that he's really taking it upon himself. He, along with guys like Demario Davis, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you know, Marshawn Lattimore, I think they're really taking it upon themselves to really understand fully that this is the way that this team is going to go anywhere. It's because of us. It's because of the defense. So I can't take plays off. And they're playing like it. Cam Jordan is playing like his motor constantly is running all day, all night. He has 7.5 sacks over the last 3 games. And we all know he loves sacking Matt Ryan. I mean, nobody does it better than Cam Jordan. I mean, this guy makes this an art. And for some apparent reason, he feels that him and Matt Ryan should have a better relationship, you know, because of all the times that he actually sacked him. You know, you look at guys like, you know, you talk about Michael Strahan and Brett Favre, you know what I'm saying, guys like that, and Warren Sapp and Brett Favre, you know, guys who, you know, made a living off sacking them. You know, they seem to have a really good relationship in the process, so much that Brett Favre actually laid down for Michael Strahan to get that record-setting sack that he needed to be the all-time season sack leader. But, you know, the relationship between Matt Ryan and Cam Jordan doesn't need to be all flowers and daisies. Cam Jordan needs to go out there and do what Cam Jordan do, which is sack Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, a lot of people think that he's, you know, washed up, that he's not, you know, what he used to be, which I would agree he's not what he used to be, but who is? But I do think that Matt Ryan really likes playing the Saints. He really wants to beat the Saints. And I've seen him on the sidelines the last game when the Saints played the Falcons. And when they realized that they were going to, you know, win, or they had like a go-ahead lead or something like that, you know, you see him on the sidelines. He's really Man, he's really, animated. He's yelling, he's screaming, he's trying to fire guys up. So that's what beating the Saints actually means to Matt Ryan, as well as the rest of the Atlanta Falcons. I expect for them to go out there and try to put up some trick plays. I expect for them to go out there, try to throw some balls down the field. I expect for them to go out there and just do whatever it takes in order for them to come away with the victory in this game. And they do have some guys that are wide receivers who can go out there that can make some plays. They're not household names, that you're going to recognize, but these are guys that contribute in a big way. You also have the running game. You have Cordell Patterson, who absolutely destroyed the Saints single-handedly, in my opinion, last time they played them. But I think the Saints are going to account for him this time. It's not going to be well-kept secret, about what Cordell Patterson can do in a Falcons uniform. It's going to be one of those things where the Saints understand the assignment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at this guy as their version of an Alvin Kamara, because he can hurt you. I mean, he can return kicks. He can run in between the tackles. You can line him up. As a wide receiver, he can catch the ball. I mean, this dude can do a whole bunch of things. So you better be prepared and you better be ready for this guy, because he can hurt you in so many ways. So the question is on everyone's mind, who is going to win this football game? I got the New Orleans Saints winning this football game. Look, like I said at the beginning, this is the playoffs. The playoff starts on today. If you're listening to this prediction show on a Sunday, then the playoff starts today, right now. You can't afford to go out here and not lay it all on the line. You cannot afford to go out there and just put on a lackluster performance. You have to go out there and you have to give it every single thing that you have in order for you to even be in contention for the playoffs, okay? Look, you don't need to worry about the 49ers and the Rams game. You need to control what you can control. And if that happens, if it just so happens that the 49ers beat the Rams, then at least you know that you went down fighting. And that is something that we all wanted as Saints fans when Jameis Winston went down, when Michael Thomas wasn't coming back, when we seen these guys losing 4 straight, when we seen all of the offensive line just basically get decimated, when we seen Alvin Kamara out for all those games. We understood that we just want to see this team try to fight and see where they're going to be at the end. So that's the way that they've been all season. Let's try to end the season the same way. But I got the Saints winning this football game. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be almost like playoff football in week 18 when it comes to like the way they're going to be hitting and the intensity and the sense of urgency. I think all of that is going to be on display in this game. But I got the New Orleans Saints winning because, quite frankly, I just think that the Saints, when they are on their game, they're better than the Atlanta Falcons. But the offense is going to have to help out the defense, and they're going to have to be able to sustain drives. And some of these guys that have been hiding, they're going to need to step up. These guys are going to have to make plays. When your number is called, you need to answer. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Be sure to check out the State of the Saints podcast on Facebook, facebook.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. Also on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Give the show a thumbs up if you like the commentary, if you like the show, please. And also previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, and now a part of the Pigskin Podcast Network. Till next time, all I got to say is